What's it like leaving your full-time job and taking the risk to start up on your own business? And I think sort of what most people would ask you at first, is it scary? And I think bottom line is, yeah, it is scary. But I think also as well, it's exciting as well. And it's sort of something completely different to what you've ever done before. And I think, it's good to be scared because obviously it proves that you sort of, you want to do well and you want to succeed. But yeah, I think also as well, it's just exciting. It's a completely new, different chapter of my life. I'm only 20 years of age. And for the fact that I can, sort of say that I've left my job at 20 years of age to work on my own full-time business, I think that's quite an achievement sort of in itself. I left my full-time position where, I like to think I sort of quite enjoyed my job anyway. I had quite a good, salary, a good manager, good people around me. And, I just thought, I still needed to sort of take the plunge and just go full time for my own business, take the hit and just go at it sort of 110 miles per hour. And, so far, I like to think that's what I've done. I think what I was most scared about is sort of the reaction and the backlash from actually my full-time job, sort of see how they'd react. And also just to sort of see how I'd react when I sort of handed in my notice, because, from there, there's no going back. And sort of weirdly enough, as soon as I handed in my notice, I had that sort of, awkward conversation with my manager, it just felt like the whole weight was lifted off my shoulders. And, sort of for the first time in my life, I actually felt like I was doing the completely right thing. And it was weird as well, because I saw this podcast that Gary Neville was on, I think it was the Diary of a CEO. And he was saying something, people ask him, what's it like owning all these businesses and whatever? And he said, yeah, it's scary. But he also said, it's like when you're up on, when you're up on the ski slopes and you're at, I think he said it was like the black slopes where it's like the hardest one, the scariest one. And he said, as soon as you've sort of taken that hit and and you're already sliding down, it's too late, you can't go back. And I think that was the same for me. I couldn't go back. I've committed to it now and I've just got to give my everything, got to give my all for it. And I think that's also for me what the most exciting thing is about being full-time for my business and sort of only being realistically the only one that's going to be bringing in the new business, because it's all down to me. And I sort of like having the pressure of being the one that everyone relies on to bring in the money. And I think, yeah, that's quite a good thing. And yeah, I think I sort of like the responsibility. And yeah, I think so far so good. I performed quite well, bringing in new business, new opportunities, and it's just going on from there. I think another thing that people would ask me is, how do you love one to react when you tell them you're going to quit your full-time comfortable job to start full-time on your own business? And I think the most important person's opinion that really matters to yourself is your partner, whether that's sort of your boyfriend or your girlfriend. When I told my girlfriend, I think we were out just for a drink, and it was really like building up on me to tell her, because I was getting scared because I sort of knew how she'd react. And yeah, the first time I told her, I think she was just sort of worried, scared, anxious for me, because I think she knew I did like my full-time job. I had a good wage, as I said, I got along with the people, good management, I was working with one of my best friends there. And yeah, she had her concerns, I think like anyone else would, any of your loved ones. And once I actually had sort of a fully in-depth conversation about, my goals, my dreams, my desires for it, and also how the business was performing currently, and what I think I could bring once I go full-time, and once she saw the passion in me, because I am passionate about this. I love this business and I just want to make it grow and sort of excel. And once we had that conversation, I think, yeah, that's when she became more on board. She sort of saw the vision, she saw the passion in myself. And of course, as a girlfriend, I started telling her how much money we're going to make. And I think, yeah, she didn't really mind that when I told her I'll be able to buy sort of Gucci handbags within a year's time. And also as well, sort of once I come full time, when I became on full time at E-TOTO Media, just before I left at my other job, it went a little bit tits up, I think, just because I wasn't performing as well. And I think that was just because, I just wanted to leave. I wanted to join E-TOTO full time, which probably isn't the best mindset I should have had for my previous employers. But, that's all I was focused on. That's all I wanted to do. And ever since I've come on to E-TOTO, I'm the sales director. So, my job is to bring the sales in. And I'm sure any salesman knows it's a very stressful job. But ever since I've been here with E-TOTO, I've literally felt no stress. I've felt so stress-free. And, it's such sort of a great feeling for myself to have, because I'm quite an overthinker, and I do get stressed out quite easily. And for some reason, I thought I'd be even more stressed working for my company full time, but I just knew it was worth the risk. But as I said, since I've been here, I really haven't felt that much stress, just because I know I'm good at what I do and what I'm selling to people on the phone, it clearly comes across. And that's why, you know, I like to think I'm smashing it so far. It's going really well, it's going really great. And, you know, since leaving my full-time job, I've really not looked back. And yeah, it's just nice to just focus on myself, focus on my dreams and my goals, and not have anyone else to rely on. You know, it's down to myself to bring the sales in. And, you know, I think I like having sort of the responsibility, because so far it's not even seen as sort of pressure or stress. You know, I'm saying that now, and probably next week I'm going to have the most stressful week of my life, but, you know, who knows. Yeah, you know, maybe even to some of you guys who are sort of watching this video now, you know, what sort of would be your concerns to start your own business? You know, what would you be worried about? Would you be worried about more about sort of the money side? You know, maybe you're not going to make as much money than you were at your full-time job for a couple months. Or, you know, are you sort of concerned about how other people are going to think? Or is it just more of the fact that you just think the business is going to crumble? And I think with all of those things sort of combined, you know, if you have the passion, you have the energy, and you have the love for whatever product you're selling, or sort of, you know, anything else you're trying to do within the business world, if you're passionate about it, you love it, and you really believe that it's going to work, you know, just go for it. You know, you might as well. You know, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? You know, you've tried and you failed. You know, at least you can think back in 20, 30 years that you tried that business, instead of in 20, 30 years thinking, oh, I wish I did try that business. You know, you still, and from there as well, you can learn so much from that. You know, even if you've been running your own business for 6 to 12 months, you know, if you go back into sort of the working world, you have so much more experience than anyone else who's just been an employee the whole life. You've sort of really got to understand how to run a business, the operations side, the financial side, you know, sitting with clients, you know, sort of keeping, you know, in constant contact with the clients as well. So there's so much skills you can learn as well from running your business, and I think without even realizing. And I've only been sort of full-time within the business for about a month now, and I think what I've learned already is sort of, you know, I would never learn that at my own full-time job. You know, just sitting with my business partner Jordan, sitting in, listening to him on his meetings, you know, myself really realizing that this is down to me to bring the sales in. You know, we're now fortunate enough to be able to go up to London 2-3 times a week, meeting with all of these, you know, sort of big, you know, massive clients. You know, we like to call them big dick clients. Can I say that? Yeah, we like to call them sort of big dick clients, and, you know, sort of sitting with these people that I would have never met before. It's just something else that you'd never be able to do if you were an employee. So if anyone was looking to, you know, start their own business, I'd say just go for it. You've got nothing to lose, especially if, you know, probably hearing this from a 20-year-old, you know, you're probably thinking he doesn't know what he's talking about. But, you know, if you're still, you know, even 40, 50, 20, 30, you might as well go for it. Just do it. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of the day to watch my video. And yeah, I look forward to speaking with you again soon.